Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. I'll be a dandy and I'll be a rover. You'll know who I am by the songs that I sing. I'll feast at your table, I'll sleep in your clover. Who cares what tomorrow shall bring? Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. I can't be contented with yesterday's glory, and I can't live on promises, winter to spring. Today is my moment, now is my story. I'll laugh, I'll cry, and I'll sing. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. One more time today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. Well, good afternoon, folks. Thanks for joining us on a strange day. This week we're not going to do our usual Sunday show because it's Super Bowl Sunday, and that's not a program I want to compete with. But today is a special day. I'm honoring my mother. It's her birthday. And I've got a special program planned for you. I opened with that one for a couple reasons. First of all, it's about celebrating the moment. which we have to do, even in times of a pandemic, when you have to be unconventional sometimes to spend time with people that you love. You still need to live in the moment. And secondly, I wanted to do music today that I knew would be special to my mother. And one of the first things that she loved as a child in the world of music was folk music, particularly that of the Kingston Trio and the New Christy Minstrels. That was a popular track for the New Christy Minstrels called Today. So I wanted to start with something that was an early musical interest of hers. I'm going to carry on here with a song that I learned many, many years later. This is by Elton John. This is a favorite of her and my dad's to hear me play, and has been for many years. It's a complicated song. It's got a really strange chord progression and relatively advanced, kind of difficult piano part. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm doing these two back to back when I finish playing this song for you. This is from 1992, and it's called The One. Saw you dancing out the ocean and running fast along the sand. A spirit born of earth and water, fire flying from your hands. In the instant that you love someone, in the second that the hammer hits, reality runs up your spine, and the pieces finally fit. And all I ever needed was the one, like freedom fields where wild horses run. When stars collide, like you and I, no shadows block the sun. You're all I ever needed, baby, you're the one. There are caravans that follow, drunken nights and dark hotels, when chances breathe between the silence, where sex and love no longer gel. Oh, for each man in his time is came, until he walks along the beach and sees his future in the water, a long lost heart within his reach. And all I ever needed was the one, like freedom fields where wild horses run. When stars collide, like you and I, no shadows block the sun. You're all I ever needed, baby, you're the one. like you and I. No shadows block the sun. Oh, you're all I ever needed. Ooh, baby, on the wall. All I ever needed was the one. Like freedom fields where wild horses run. When stars collide, like you and I. No shadows block the sun. Whoa, you're all I ever needed. Ooh, baby, on the wall. Thank you. It's a little Elton John there. So, I told you I was going to explain why I would start with the New Christy Minstrels and then lead into a song by Elton John from 1992. And here's the tie-in. The song I just played uses pretty much all the skills that I have as a piano player. Which is where my interest in music started. It also is taxing. Well, it's not taxing, but it's a challenging song to sing. So all the years that I've put into music go into playing that song. And when I think about my mom's life and my life and what I do with it, even though she wasn't a professional musician, I don't think I could possibly do what I do had it not been for her love of music that she brought into our household that I caught like a wildfire and just took to a different level. And so I wanted to start with something that was, a piece of music she would have loved when she was little. And then I wanted to go into something that is the product of not only my lifetime of interest in music, but really a product of her lifetime of loving music. And it's, the culmination of those two things, because my mom's got a deep, deep love of music, and music was everywhere in the house, always playing. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So now that I've played the two extremes, I'm going to spend the rest of the show today showing you how we got from that first song to the second song. And I thought we would incorporate some fun backing tracks. But before we get into that, one thing you should know. When I was little, my mom used to play piano. Well, I mean, she can play. She read notes on a page, which is something I never really learned how to do very well. I can identify them, but I'm not very good at sight reading. But she used to sit down and play some stuff. We had some sheet music that she had bought. And I used to love to sit and listen to her play. She used to play, we had the sheet music to the theme from Hill Street Blues. And I used to ask her to play that all the time. We had the sheet music to the theme from Top Gun. Remember this one? made her wear the piano keys out on that one. And she would go through some of her old piano books, and she had one song she played called the Spinning Song that when I was in my first or second year of lessons, this was well above my grade, but I watched her play it, and then I could reverse engineer what was on the page to what I saw her fingers doing, and so I learned how to play the Spinning Song. So those are just some of the things that were happening in my household down by the piano before I even knew I wanted to play piano. I just loved music. And so, as we continue our program here, what I thought we would do is open up with this number. There was another thing that was constantly going on in our household. That was harmony. She and my dad, we used to call them Rich and Karen Carpenter, because they sang harmony to everything. Now, obviously, I can't sing harmony with myself, but the group that did this song was great with their harmonies. This is Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And I thought it was good for the theme of what we're talking about here. My mom taught me to love music. When you're on the road, must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their mother's help did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they picks, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry, so just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. In youth of the tender years, you can't know the fears, yet your elders grew by, and so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die, and teach your parents well, their children's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they picks, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry, so just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. The other reason I picked that song is that my mom taught me well how to play on a theme. So anyway, I loved music. I didn't necessarily know I wanted to play piano. I just know I wanted to hear it. I knew I wanted to hear music as much as possible. And when I finally got the bug that I wanted to perform, it wasn't really on the piano. I just wanted to sing. and I wanted to look cool. And I was obsessed with a movie that my parents rented from the first video store that ever came to Ogallala, Nebraska, on one of those VCRs from like 1981 or something. It's gray, it weighed like 100 pounds. Didn't have a remote, but it was a fancy schmancy piece of machinery at the time. They brought this thing home, and I wanted them to rent it every night for the rest of my life. And I just wanted to fast forward to the end of the show, and then they bought the soundtrack, and I wore out the soundtrack, and then they had to buy it again, and I almost wore that out. The artist was Neil Diamond. The movie was called The Jazz Singer. And the song went like this. We've been traveling far without a home, but not without a star. Free, only want to be free. We huddle close and hang on to a dream. So far away, we're traveling light today, in the eye of the storm, in the eye of the storm. Home to a new and a shiny place, make our bed and we'll set race. Freedom's light burning warm, freedom's light burning warm, yeah. Everywhere around the world, they come into America. Every time that flag's unfurled, they come into America. They got a dream to take them there. They come into America. Got a dream they come to share. They come into America. They come into America. They come into America. They come into America. They come into America today. 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 My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing. Of thee I sing. Today. 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 You have to end that song with the jazz singer pose. Anyway, I loved that song. And my mom was very supportive. She helped create costumes, and I performed it many times in front of people in our living room, and that was when I was about 4 or 5. And that was the beginning of my performing career, actually. So this day would not be complete without that. And eventually my musical interest started to broaden a little bit. We had the Disney Channel, and one of the things that was on the Disney Channel at the time was old reruns of a show called The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. The Nelson Family. And many of you might be aware of the fact that the Nelsons had a son called the irrepressible Ricky, who went on to become the first great teen idol, Ricky Nelson. And it turns out he was actually a pretty good musician. And I became kind of enamored with his music, and actually one of the first heartbreaks ever that I ever had in music was the day that Ricky Nelson died in a plane crash on New Year's Eve in 1985, the day before 1986. And my mom had to break the news to me the day after, because she read it in the paper. But I was already very much hip deep into Ricky Nelson music, and my aunts had gotten me a couple of cassette tapes, and my favorite song then, and still my favorite song by Ricky Nelson, was this one. So I thought this might be a good stroll down amnesia lane for my mom, because she surely heard me listening to it and singing it. Hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. Sweet Mary Lou, I'm so in love with you. I knew Mary Lou, we'd never part. So hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. Passed me by one sunny day, flashed those big brown eyes my way, and oh, I needed you forevermore. Now I'm not one who gets around, swore my feet stuck to the ground, though I never did meet you before. I said hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. Sweet Mary Lou, I'm so in love with you. I knew Mary Lou, we'd never part. So hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. I heard your voice. Believe me, I just had no choice. Wild horses couldn't make me stay away. And I thought about a moonlit night, arms around you good and tight. Man, that's all it took for me to say. I said hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. Sweet Mary Lou, I'm so in love with you. I knew Mary Lou, we'd never part. So hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. Yes, hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. Yes, hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. All right. I just want to say hello to some folks. Of course, hello to the guest of honor. Happy birthday, Mom. Hi, Bev. Hi, Pat. Hi, Charlotte. Becky. Good to have you with us. Hi, Ruth. Looks like Noah's joined us. How you doing, my young friend? Hi, Bettina. Bill's here. How you doing? Good to have you with us. Okay. Lots of great people here. Some of our very favorites and some new folks who've tuned in just to wish my mom a happy birthday. So I mentioned the new Christy Minstrels earlier. A lot of people don't realize this, but there's a fellow who went on to become an international superstar who was part of the new Christy Minstrels, and then he was in another group called the First Edition before breaking off on his own. His name was Kenny Rogers, and one of the songs, we loved Kenny Rogers growing up, and one of the songs that was on frequently in the house was this one, and we sang along to it all the time. Again, long before I even knew I wanted to play piano. Summer's evening, on a train down from nowhere, met up with the gambler, and we were both too tired to sleep. We took turns of staring out the window at the darkness. The boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces and knowing what their cards were by the way they held their eyes. And if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette, and he asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet. His face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You gotta know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to walk away, know when to run, and you never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done." Yes, sir. Every gambler knows the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. The best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. So when he finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, faded off to sleep. Somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even, and in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You gotta know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to walk away, know when to run, and you never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold them, when to hold them, know when to fold them, when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run, and you never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. All right, now that I've talked a little bit about some of the music of my youth, let's get back to some of the music of my mom's youth that she fostered such a love for and brought with her into our lives, and the momentum that built that led me to where I am today. In addition to this folk thing that she had going on, she also was really, really smitten with the music of the African American community in the pop world when she was growing up. Soul music, Motown music. And so I thought I would do a couple of songs to pay homage to that, because my mom loves a little bit of soul and she loves to groove a little bit. And this first one is by a group called The Drifters. Oh, when the sun beats down and burns the tar up on the roof, and your shoes get so hot you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah, on a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. The boardwalk will be heavens upon the boardwalk. Out of the sun, the boardwalk, people walking above. We'll be falling in love under the boardwalk, boardwalk. From the park nearby, you hear the sound of the carousel. And you can almost taste those hot dogs and french fries they sell. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun, the boardwalk will be heavens upon the boardwalk. People laughing about the boardwalk. We'll be falling in love under the boardwalk, boardwalk. Baby, that's where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun, the boardwalk will be heavens upon the boardwalk. People laughing about the boardwalk. We'll be falling in love under the boardwalk, boardwalk. And of course, I don't know how anyone could have been attracted to African American soul and R&B in those days and not be absolutely in love with the music coming out of the Motown label. And there were so many great Motown groups, but if you ask me, the group of all groups that came out of Motown has to be The Temptations. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. Now I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, talking about my girl, I've got so much honey, the bees all envy me. I've got a sweeter song, baby, sweeter than the birds up in the tree. Now I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, talking about my girl, my girl. Ooh. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Ooh. I don't need no money for channel fame. I've got all the riches, baby, any one man should ever claim. Hey, I guess you said, what can make me feel this way? My girl, oh my girl, my girl. Ooh. Whoa, whoa, my girl. Ooh. Whoa, whoa, my girl. Ooh. I've got my girl. All right, let's say hi to some folks. Hey, thanks, Tony. It's good to see you. Chris from New York. Thank you very much. Thanks, Becky. That's awesome. Everybody loves the Temptations. Thank you, Charlotte. You know, another thing to remember about that song that's wonderful is the Temps made it, but Smokey Robinson wrote it. He was the genius songwriter behind Motown's greatest success stories, by far. So anyway, we're going to return. So that's some more music from my mom's youth, but she always liked to keep current. She became a fan of the 70s when the 70s were around. She was a fan of the 80s when the 80s were around. That's when I was a little kid. And so as such, the radio was on all the time, and we had just a bitchin' collection of 80s cassette tapes. And we got down every day to 80s music. Got down and enjoyed the beautiful power ballads. They were playing. All my sisters and I danced and sang harmonies with my mom, and Mom would let us, like dress in costumes, and she would dance with us, and we'd all sing and just have a lovely old time, and music was always at the center of it. So I'd like to play a couple of the songs I remember from back in those days. One of the biggest albums of all time, and certainly one of the biggest albums of the 80s, was by an artist we all know as Phil Collins. And the album was called No Jacket Required, and this was a #1 hit that was played off of that album, along with many other hits in our living room. held me back so I can make you see. Please give me one more night. Give me just one more night. Oh, one more night. 'Cause I can't wait forever. Please give me one more night. Give me just one more night. Oh, one more night. 'Cause I can't wait forever. I've been sitting here so long, just wasting time, just staring at the phone. And I was wondering, should I call you? Then I thought, maybe you're not alone. Please give me one more night. Give me just one more night. Oh, one more night. 'Cause I can't wait forever. Please give me one more night. Give me just one more night. Oh, one more night. 'Cause I can't wait forever. Give me one more night. Give me one more night. One more night. 'Cause I can't wait forever. Like a river to the sea, I will always be with you. And if you sail away, I will follow you. But give me one more night. Give me just one more night. Oh, one more night. 'Cause I can't wait forever. I know there'll never be a time you'll ever feel the same. And I know it's only words, but if you change your mind, you know that I'll be here. Maybe we both can learn. Give me just one more night. Give me one more night. Give me one more night. 'Cause I can't wait forever. Give me one more night. Give me one more night. One more night. 'Cause I can't wait forever. All right. We didn't just listen to ballads in the 80s, though. We like to rock and pop, too. So every once in a while, we'd swap over to something like, say, Hall & Oates. Two, 1, 2, 3.
Well, I don't feel the need to give some secrets away.
list because you kiss your kiss. I can't resist. Yeah, your kiss is what I miss when I turn out the light. I go crazy wondering what there is to really see. Tonight, just take up your time, 'cause it means more to me. Sometimes I forget what I'm doing. I don't forget what I want, what I want. Regret what I've done, regret you, I couldn't go on. But if you insist on knowing my bliss, I'll tell you this. If you wanna know what the reason is, I'll just smile and alive and I'll tell you why. Because your kiss is on my list. Because your kiss is on my list. 'Cause your kiss is on my list of the best things in life. I really miss you, girl. Wow! Yeah, your kiss is on my list. Because your kiss is on my list. Yeah, your kiss is on my list of the best things in life. Because your kiss is on my list. 'Cause your kiss, I can't resist. Your kiss is what I miss when I turn out the lights. Oh yeah, your kiss is on my list. Your kiss is on my list. Your kiss is on my list of the best things in life. Because your kiss I can't resist. Your kiss is what I miss when I turn out the lights. I ain't kidding, guys. Every day was like that in the living room. Once I went off to school, I kind of discovered television. I spent less time in the living room, but pretty much through up until about the time I went to first grade, pretty much every day was just like that. All right. Good old jazzercise. Yes, I remember when you were all jazzercising, Charlotte. I remember that well. Okay. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what my mom grew up loving and then what she brought to the house and what I grew up loving. And eventually it led to being in piano lessons, which certainly it was a kind of a long and winding road before I started to really get much out of that, but it was the right thing to do. But Lord knows that my musical journey as a person who makes music began with this old clunker piano, this upright that my parents had, and it was the one that my mom had played when she was a little girl at her parents' house. So I'm going to play a song I wrote about that right now before we enter in our timeline. We're about to enter when I started making music and started playing music, and which opened up new music for Mom and I to enjoy together. stuff that neither of us had heard before and that we both became quite fond of through the dimension of me making music. And it all started with this old piano. So this is the title track off an album I put out in 2016. It's called Beat Up Old Piano. Of my parents' house against the rec room wall was an old upright piano, dark brown and 5 feet tall. The wood was scratched, the keys were chipped, and it was old as sin. I knew that old piano would one day be my best friend. My mom made me take lessons when I started 2nd grade. And at first I wasn't happy with the progress that I made. But 5 years later I looked up and I sounded like a man. That beat up old piano had turned into my best friend. That beat up old piano turned me everything I know. Showed me who I am and what to do and where to go. And it helped me make my journey from a boy to a man. That beat up old piano, well, it's still my best friend. By the time I went to high school, I was getting paid to play. And I couldn't take my basement friend to help me earn my way. So I bought myself a keyboard, played all across the land. But I'd go home and play my old piano once again. That beat up old piano helped me learn where I belong. I found a purpose for my life in playing all these songs. It helped me make my journey from a boy to a man. That beat up old piano, well, it's still my best friend. Yes, it is. Tonight in front of thousands of my fans, playing all my shows now on a custom Steinway Grand. But I still feel that old upright in my heart and in my hands. That beat up old piano, it's still my best friend. Well, that beat up old piano made me who I am today. It taught me how to write my songs and sing them while I play. Don't have it anymore, but it's with me to the end. That beat up old piano, it's still my best friend. Yeah. God bless that beat up old piano. 'Cause it's still my best friend. I'm going to do something I never do. I almost never play this song unless I'm going to play it last. But in the timeline of what we're studying today, it's apropos to do it now. So I'm going to play this song in the middle of the show instead of at the end of the show. Once I got acquainted to that piano, when it really turned into my friend, like really, was when I discovered a guy named Billy Joel. Oh my goodness. I'll never forget it. It was the summer of 1990. We had just moved to Kearney, Nebraska from Ogallala. I had no friends, and it would be 2 or 3 months before we went to school. And I was bored, and I did not have an outlet. And then I discovered Billy Joel's music at that moment. And it changed my life. And my mom, God bless her, she heard me pound the same crap out of that old piano over and over and over and over and over like a broken record for years. And nothing got played more than this piece of music right here, which went on to sort of be the symbol of my entire career and my life's work.
Saturday, the regular crowd shovels in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He says, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La 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 da da da, la da 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 da. Sing us a song, hear the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. You've got us feeling alright. John at the bar is a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke or the lightest smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. Says Steve, I believe this is killing me, as a smile ran away from his face. I'm sure that I could be a movie star if I could get out of this place. La 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 da da da, la da 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 da. Now Paul is a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife, and he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy, and he probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. They're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. The night is safe. Sing us the song, hear the
pretty good crowd here for a birthday party. The manager, he gives me a smile, 'cause he knows that it's me that you come here to see, to forget about COVID for a while. The piano sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer. They sit at the bar, put bread in my jar, say, man, what are you doing here? La 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 da da da, la da 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 da. Sing us a song, the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. You've got us feeling alright. All right. Well, it feels weird to do that song and still have concert left to go, but hey. Again, thanks for being here with us. A couple of programming notes and other stuff before we get on with the show. I know tonight I haven't really been taking requests. Don't worry, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that in future streams. This is just kind of a planned show that I put together. Hopefully with enough variety to satisfy everybody's taste buds, and but also music that I knew would be meaningful to my mother and myself. Secondly, I will not be on this weekend. I'm going to not compete with the Super Bowl on Sunday, so we're going to take Sunday off. The following Sunday is Valentine's Day. We're doing a special sweetheart dance event online here. Well, just my normal thing, but I'll dress up and put special lighting on, and I've got a kind of a special show we'll do for Valentine's Day. Then we'll get back to our normal sort of piano bar, a lot of requests format the following week. Some of you are wondering where I get these tracks. I make them on this keyboard right here. This is a sequencer. I make them here, and I eventually get them onto an iPod, and occasionally I play them out of that. We're going to use this keyboard a little bit later. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh, I see that something's happening here. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Becky. Thanks, Charlotte. Yeah, I've been doing that song for a long time. Okay. So what we're going to carry on now with, we've done Piano Man, so I just kind of wanted to bring you up to speed. Where we are in the timeline is I started making music, and it introduced new music to me and new music to my mom and my dad. And we started sharing a love of music over some things that neither of us had heard before, including this piece of music by Billy Joel, because all I played for a while was Billy Joel. So we're gonna do some Billy Joel music here for you, a couple of pieces, and then we'll move on to some more variety. But that's what really inspired me to learn to play piano, and that's where my focus was for a while. And my parents got an earful of it, and my mom is a very patient woman. This particular piece was one that I was pretty mesmerized with when I heard it. Found the sheet music to it, and again, as I say, I'm not very good at reading music, but if I have a recording to go on, the music makes sense to me if I can reverse engineer it from what I'm hearing and translate it onto the page. So I was able to use this to kind of get the nooks and crannies down. One hallmark of my mother is that if she calls something by the wrong name once, it's likely to remain that for the rest of her life, and there is no changing that. It's sort of her way of saying, well, you know what? That's what it felt like, and it probably should have been named that in the first place. So in our family, this has been lovably called the turkey trot for a long time. I have no idea where that even came from, but its real name is the root beer rag. A little sloppy. Haven't played that one in a while. Had to pull it out of mothballs. Was probably better at playing that when I was 16. And another one that became a kind of a family favorite that none of us had heard until I started obsessing on Billy Joel and listening to all of his deep album cuts was this kind of wild western, kind of Aaron Copland sounding thing that he did, and the history in it is completely inaccurate, but it's a pretty cool piece of music. It's called The Ballad of Billy the Kid, and no show in honor of either of my parents would be complete without this one.
hand. And his daring life of crime made him a legend in his time, east and west of the Rio Grande. Well, he started with a bank in Colorado. In the pocket of his vest, a Colt he hid. And his age and his size took the teller by surprise, and the word spread of Billy the Kid. Well, he never had it heavy, yes, he always rode alone, and he soon put many old guns to shame. He never had a sweetheart, but he never had a home, but the cowboy and the rancher knew his name. Well, he robbed his way from the Utah to Oklahoma, and the lodges could not seem to track him down. And it served as a legend well for the folks that love to tell about when Billy the Kid came to town. Billy the Kid. Well, he never had a levy, yes, he always rode alone, and he soon put many older guns to shame. He never had a sweetheart, but he finally found a home underneath the voodoo grave that bears his name. From the town known as Oyster Bay, Long Island, rode a boy with a six-pack in his hand. His daring life of crime made him a legend in his time, east and west of the Rio Grande. All right. Well, as you can imagine, eventually I never stopped loving Billy Joel, but my interests expanded a little bit, and they found another piano man named Elton John.
And this is one of Mom's favorite Elton John songs, but it was one of her favorite songs when it was a #1 hit in 1974, long before I was even born. So we bonded on this song later in life, and especially when we were at the Billy Joel Elton John show 20 years after this was a hit in 1994, and they launched into it in the encore section.
Hitting something, but known to change the weather. We'll kill the fight and carve the night, so stick around. You're gonna hear electric music, solid all the sound. Caddy and Ronnie, haven't seen him yet. Whoa, they're so spaced out. Bubba, Benny and the Jets. Oh, 'cause they're waiting the wonderful. Betty, she's a really queen. She's got electric boots, a mowing suit. You know, I read it in a magazine. You know, but Benny and the Jets, yes sir. The babies, maybe they're blind, but Benny makes them ageless. We shall survive, let us take ourselves along. When we find our parents out on the street, you find her riding on the road. So Candy and Ronnie, have you seen them yet? Oh, they're still spaced out. Benny and the Jets. Well, she's a really
All right. Well, once I had fully immersed myself in Billy Joel and Elton John, I started finding myself drifting towards music with acoustic guitars in it. And that led me square into the world of John Denver. And I'm going to play a song that I like this song. It's a delightful little song. I hardly think it's the masterpiece of John's entire career, but it's fun, it's upbeat, and I know that my mom is really, really looking forward to getting past this whole COVID thing so that she can go be a grandma and have the grandkids stay all night at their house over in Lincoln and have Dad make them pancakes and stuff in the morning and just all the stuff that's fun to do when you have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. And that's kind of what this song is all about. So I thought it would be not only fun and upbeat, but thematic, hopefully to where we will be moving toward over the next few months.
Little bitty boy just up off the floor, we used to look up at Grandma's house every month and just so have chicken pie, country ham, homemade butter on the bread. Well, the best darn thing about Grandma's house is a great big feather bed, 'cause it was 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. Made from the feathers of 4 and 11 geese, took a whole bowl of cloth full of tick. It could hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, a piggy we stole from the shed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. And after supper we'd sit around the fire and the old folks would spit and chew. All would talk about the farm and the war, and my granddad sing a ballad or two. I'd sit and listen and watch the fire until the cobweb filled my head. Next thing I know, I'd wake up in the morning in the middle of the old feather bed. It was 9 feet high and 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 4 and 11 geese, took a whole bowl of cloth full of tick. It would hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, a piggy we stole from the shed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Yeah! Well, I love my ma and I love my pa, I love Granny and Grandpa too. Been fishing with my uncle and wrestled my cousin, I even kissed Aunt Lou. Ooh, and if I ever had to make a choice, guess it ought to be said, I'd trade them all for a gal down the road for Grandma's feather bed. 'Cause it was 9 feet high and 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chick. It was made from the feathers of 4 and 11 geese, took a whole bowl of cloth full of tick. It would hold 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, a piggy we stole from the shed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed.
Also gives me a chance to try and be a banjo. About this time, I was in high school, and one of the features of being in high school was that I got to play in the Kearney High School Jazz Band, which took the knowledge that I had gained from my piano lessons, and I got to expand them out into a different genre and use them in a little bit different way, and it all adds to the collective pop, because everything I learned in jazz band I'm able to flavor my popular music with as well. So I thought I would play a song that pulls from some of those jazzy skills. And I know my mom loves the music of the crooners, Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Tony Bennett, those guys. But the ultimate crooner for me is Frank Sinatra. So, Mom, this one's for you on your birthday. There we go. Wrong song. Here we go.
Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel the glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Lovely, with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft, there is nothing for me but to love you and the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fear apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Your love, don't you ever change. Keep your foolish charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Touches my foolish heart. You're lovely, don't you ever change. Keep your foolish charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. All righty. So about this time, I finally started to work as a musician, and what I found was I was in Nebraska. And as such, if I wanted to get gigs, there was something that I really didn't know anything about that I had best learn something about, or else there wasn't going to be any work in Nebraska for a musician, and that's country music. And the truth is, we had never really liked country music that much in our household. It just wasn't our thing. And that especially includes my mother. But then enters onto the scene one Garth Brooks. And there was something about that guy's charisma and his delivery that took a style of music that neither of us had any use for the most part, and we kind of liked it. And there was no song that we bonded over more than this one
which took over the world in 1990. Here we go.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. The last one to know, the last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. Well, I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. Now they okay. Well, now I'm not big on soul. Think I'll slip on down to the Oasis. Oh, I got a friend in low places. I guess I was wrong, I just don't belong. But then, I've been there before. Everything's alright, I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the door. Well, I didn't mean to cause a big scene. Just give me an hour and then we'll all be as high as that ivory tower you're living down. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. Now I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the Oasis. Oh, I got friends in low places.
We're going to do something a little bit PG-13. This is Garth's infamous third verse. And it goes like this.
I guess I was wrong, I just don't belong. But then, I've been there before. Everything's alright, I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the door. Well, I didn't mean to cause a big scene. Just wait till I finish this glass. Sweet little lady, I'll head back to the bar and you can kiss my ass. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. Well, now I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the Oasis. Oh, I got friends in low places. Well, I got friends in low places.
Well, I don't often play on this keyboard anymore. I tend to do most of my playing over here. But every once in a while, something calls for it. One thing you got to know about my mom, she loves to dance. She loves beat. In fact, we may or not have on occasion called her the beat bitch. Just saying. It might have happened once or twice in our life. And I'm going to do something that reminds me of the first big concert I ever saw in my life. It was none other than the great genius Stevie Wonder. It was in 1986. I wasn't even 10 years old, and it was in the Bob Devaney Center at the Nebraska State Fair. And my parents were with me, and it was the first time I ever heard this song. A 2, 1, 2. There is superstition writing on the wall. There is superstition ladder not to fall. 13-month-old baby broke a looking glass. You don't want to save me. Good things in your past. When you believe in things you don't understand, you will suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Wash your face and hands. You have any other problem? Do all that you can. Keep me in a daydream. Keep me going strong. You don't want to save me. Sad is my song. When you believe in things you don't understand, you will suffer. Superstition is the way. Yow! Oh, I haven't done that one in a while. That felt good. That funky instrument is called a clavinet. Okay. We are coming up on the end of this whole thing. Thank you for going on this journey with me tonight. It's been fun to revisit my past a little bit and think about how my mom's past helped create my past and now my present. If you've enjoyed yourself, my digital tip jars are down in the description. Not necessary. This is more of a celebration today, but you know, it always helps keep the lights on and everything, so I have to mention it. But really, this is just a joyous way for me to do something special for my mom, because we just weren't able to get together out of an abundance of caution right now. So hopefully this will be, our whole family has now been through a cycle of birthdays. Hopefully this will be the last one where we're in the thick of the pandemic and kind of need to distance from each other. So fingers crossed. I'm going to close tonight with a song. This is an interesting choice. She has never heard me play this song before because until yesterday I'd never played it before. And in the 1990s, there was some great music made, but there was so much bad music made compared to the 80s that I was really angry at the time at music. So I kind of tuned out, retreated into CDs and classic rock stations to rebel. So I missed a lot of it then, and I've been luckily the good thing is that even when you're in a bad music cycle, the really good stuff is what lasts beyond its time. And so I've discovered a lot of wonderful music from the 90s that maybe I heard, but I wasn't dialed in at the time. And so I've really enjoyed it. And this one in particular is something that I heard earlier this week, and it just really was a special song. And it was something I thought I'd like to play tonight and close a show for my mom. You know, being a parent of an artist, I'm sure that it's delightful and fun in a lot of ways, but it is challenging in a lot of ways. Artists are inherently much more emotional, which means our highs are higher and our lows tend to be lower. If we're lucky, we figure out how to support ourselves with something that we like. We tend not to make really great employees. There's just a lot of, the world is not structured for artists. In a lot of ways, in the traditional sense, and sometimes it takes a long time to kind of figure yourself out, and it requires a lot of patience, and you got to deal with a lot of passions and a lot of, like I say, high highs and low lows, and good Lord, if there was anyone suited to the task of being my mother, it was her. And it will always be one of the great blessings of my life that of all the people that I could have come down and been born to, I was lucky enough to be born to Carol Lungrin. So thanks, Mom. I love you. Thanks for helping me feel normal when I couldn't figure out my way in the world the way normal people do. And so this song's by Robbie Williams. It's called Angels. And you'll always be one of my angels, Mom. I sit and wait. Does an angel contemplate my fate? And do they know the places where we go when we're gray and old? 'Cause I've been told
Let salvation, lets their wings unfold. So when I'm lying in my bed, thoughts running through my head, and I feel the love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. Down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. When I'm feeling weak and my pain walks down a one-way street, I look above and I know I'll always be blessed with love. And as the feeling grows, she breathes flesh to my bones. And when love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. Down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. Through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. Down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me, 'cause I'm loving angels instead.
All right, thanks everybody for joining me. Special show today. I'm taking Sunday off. We'll let everyone watch the football game. We'll be back with a sweetheart dance event on Valentine's Day, regular time, regular place. It's on Sunday, so I look forward to seeing you all then. Happy birthday, Mom. You know I love you. I hope that this has made your day a little bit special. And I love everybody else. So remember, if you're a musician, if you're not having fun when you're making music, you're doing it wrong. And for everybody, give as much love as you can to everyone you can as often as you can. Make it count, folks. We don't know when it comes to an end. Leave it all on the field. Love you guys.